Michael Mandeville here, Creative Explorer, and today I'm actually looking at a novel I'm working on, and it's called Journey. Um, that's the tentative title right now. And there's a little section here that I'm putting up and actually reworking. And it is essentially a part where a man remembers his father's funeral and the the eulogy that he gave. And there's a part that has to resonate in him that his father meant something else. So in this, and we'll just have this part here where you can see here's the original on this side. So here's the original. And this will be the revised. Bear with me, this is the first time I've done this. And right now, so I like everything that's in here. The part that I'm working on is really, this is an ending of a section. So right here is the part that I'm working on. And it seems to stick out to me that a little long. So he ends right here. Here is pretty much the eulogy, or part of the eulogy, the last third, I would say. And then I have this part here where he has this recollection and he's wondering. And so I'm thinking it might stick out, and this might be better served if it's up in here. And when we look at this part, here's where I've moved it. And my thinking is that if the impact of this part, my father asks you make it so, farewell, good father, Godspeed, that this is an important aspect of the ending, that it de-emphasizes it by having this here. So I've actually decided to move it up here for the first time in many years, and I put it here. He was strict but told his sons to follow their dreams. I've deleted this part here, because I think it already emphasizes it in here. So in other words, I'm not repeating myself, but here is like precedes the discussion about do what you love, success will follow. So this is about dreams, and we have this section here about dreams. Actually, I think what I could do is boldface and underline it, and that might be a pretty good way to work. And I have that same section here. But when I actually go to the back end here, I think it's not as strong. So having a stronger ending, I moved it up here. And in this case now, the ending ends with Father Goodspeed, and then there's a beat, and in that he wanted to act. He's an actor, but he's doing it for all the wrong reasons, I should say, or superficial reasons. And then a recollection what his father said about the acting, that it's fool's gold, and the fact that John is, that's the character's name, is wondering what he could have meant. And what's interesting to me is also just this small line here. Then what else could he have meant, wondered John. And when I actually go over here, I thought, if I actually put it on its own line, then what else could he have meant? That's the big question. And John wondered. It wouldn't just be wondering for the one question. He only wondered for that one line. He actually continues to wonder. And I think that's a very good emphasis. So moving this reflection higher sets up the emotional tone, which carries through to the last part of revision. And then by setting it off a little bit here, it sets it apart from the previous time when the eulogy was given. So those are my thoughts on this revision, just to rearrange. I think that's what's very important, is rearranging something and making it work, and do a lot of that. So simple rearrangement. So it's made me think about that, and that's the section I worked on today. And that's that. So thanks very much for watching this about creative writing, filmmaking, creative ideas, self-improvement, and trends, etc. And that's Creative Explorer. Have a good day.